Hey guys, so I have like no voice right now, and my hair is a mess, but like I really wanted to tell this story because it's like fresh on my mind, and it's so funny and like honestly tragic. Like it really just like outlines how like unfortunate my life is and everything that I get myself into. So this shadow is making me look like I have a double chin. But anyways, so I'm just gonna get into it. So, I've been working at the same job for 2 years and I hate it. I hate going to it. I dread going to work every single day. It's the worst. So, one day I was online and I was looking for jobs and I stumbled on this one job that said it was hiring zombies and or hosts for a room escape place where basically what you do is you like escape from a zombie. You have to like find clues and escape from a zombie, whatever. I had never been to it. I had never really heard of it. But when I read it, I read host, and you know, when you think host, you think like at a restaurant, like the host that like asks you like how many and then like takes you to your seat. Like I thought that like host would be like somebody that's like checking you in to the place, you know? I feel like that's what it sounds like. Tell me if I'm wrong. But that's what I thought. So I emailed this lady and I was like, hey, I basically talked myself up like blah blah blah. I think I'd be a good um bleh, I can't talk. I think I'd be a good fit for the job of a host. I'm really optimistic and bleh, whatever. A bunch of BS. But she's like, "Oh, cool. Come to our audition show Thursday night at like 7 or something. I don't really remember what time." But I was like, audition show. I was like, that sounds like I'm gonna have to audition to be something, and I can't act. I can't even talk normally. I there's no way. So I was like, does she think that I want to be a zombie? Because there's no way. But I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see what happens. If worst comes to worst, I'll try and pretend to be like a zombie and act like I can act. I'll just play it off. So Thursday night comes around and I think that I'm going to like an interview, you know, where you go and you meet the employer, you sit down and they ask you questions, blah blah blah. So I do my makeup, I do my hair, it takes me like hours. I look nice, I'm wearing a nice shirt, I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing like these like high heel boots. I look professional. So I drive about a half hour away into the city to go to this place. And I arrive. This place has no parking lot, and all of the parking meters around it are full. So I was like, nice. And I had given myself just enough time to be like right on time with only like a few minutes to like get in there because that's just how I am. I'm never like early. So I'm like, well, this sucks. So I drive around the block and I find this parking lot where I have to pay like $3 or $5 to park there. I have to walk a block to this place. And by the time I get there, it was already 7. Like it was past 7, like 7:05, 7:10, 7:10, 7:10. And the person had called me on my way there and was like, hey, sometimes the door locks and you can't get in. So if it's locked and you get there, give us a call and we'll come down and let you in. So, of course, when I get there and I go to open the door, it's locked. And there's a doorbell, like, next to the door, and it says, ring this. If it's locked, we'll come and get you, blah. So, I ring the doorbell. No one came. I rang it twice, and I rang it 3 times. No one came. So, I called the number back. No one answered, and it's going on 7:15, and no one's answering. So, I called again. No one answers. So I left a voicemail. I'm like, hey, I'm here for the interview. This door's locked. I can't get in. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, 5 minutes after that, someone comes and lets me in. They're like, oh, we already started, so we're gonna have to hurry. I was like, yeah, I know you already started. I've been waiting for you to come and let me in the door. I didn't say that, but she walked me down into this basement and she goes, what's your favorite superhero? I was like, the Spider-Man. I don't know. She goes, do you want to be Spider-Man tonight? And I was like, oh no, where is this going? And I was like, no. And she's like, what do you want to be? I was like, I don't know. So she just didn't write me a name tag. Like, she didn't write my real name on the name tag. She just didn't write me a name tag at all. And she's like, she hands me an iPad and she goes, here, sign this. It says that if the zombie eats you, we can harvest your organs and sell them. And I was like, oh, sounds reasonable. So I signed it. I was like, what is, like, why am I signing things? Like, what is about to happen? She goes, okay, they already started, so hurry up. And so she took me down this hallway to this sketchy white door. It looked like it had, like, blood smeared on it. I don't even know, but it looked like I was about to die. And she goes, okay, have fun. So unlocked the door, opened it up, pushed me in there, and slammed the door behind me and locked it. And I was like, and I turn around and I see a zombie laying on the ground going, sounded just like that. And I was like, what is going on? Like, this zombie was chained by its hands to this, like, cabinet thing, and he was like squirming around on the ground going and I had blood all over it. It was so creepy. I was like, I just stood there for a second like and then you realize there was other people in the room. There was like maybe 5 other people, and then there was 5 people that looked like my age, and then there was 2 people in white lab coats that I'm guessing were like part of like the thing. So I just stood there sorry, and I went up to one of the people that like looked like my age, had like a name tag on, whatever. I was like, what are we doing? They're like, we're trying to find clues to get out of here. Every few minutes the chain gets longer and the zombie gets closer to us. And I was like, no. I was like, no. So they're like, here's what we have so far. And they hand me a list of all these clues. It literally is like A equals B, 1 equals F, and stuff like that. I was like, what does any of this mean? And they're like, we don't know yet, blah, 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 blah. We gotta try and get all these clues. And then I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know I was gonna be doing this. So I eventually figured it out. We had to get all these clues together to whatever, figure out, like, unlock stuff and blah, to escape from the zombie. The chain got so long that he was literally biting at my feet. He was literally about to eat me alive. So, like, there was a point where I was in the corner on my tiptoes riding, like, up the wall while he was trying to grab at my feet while the other people were trying to get, like, the clues together and stuff. And, all the other people were acting, like, weird, you know, like, they were, like, singing and dancing and being all weird, and I was just being, like, trying to find the clues so I can get the heck away from the zombie, you know? But all these people were, like, trying to, like, be funny and, like, act and stuff, and I was, like, I didn't understand. So we eventually escaped from the zombie with 50 seconds left. We were part of the 20% of groups that actually escaped. And when we got out there, like, yeah, blah, and they're like, this was actually the biggest part of your interview. And I was like, oh. I was like, what? They're like, we've been watching how you guys have been acting and how you work together and how you blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I haven't been doing anything at all. I've been walking around trying to, like, grab stuff. I haven't been funny. I haven't been working together. I haven't been doing anything. I've been scared that I'm about to get eaten by the zombie. So I was like, I just bombed whatever part of the interview that was. And they're like, okay guys, we're gonna let you have a bathroom break, and we're gonna come back in, and we're gonna let you get chained up and be the zombie. And I was like, wait, what? I'm gonna do what? mind you, I was in a like kind of like poncho looking shirt, and they like the sleeves are really long, and like they're held together by like a string, and on the right side the string had already broke, so it was held together by a clothespin. So me trying to flop around and be a zombie in this clothespin shirt in my huge J-Lo heel boots, I was going to die. Like, my shirt was going to come undone, and I would not have a shirt on, and I would break my knees, my ankles from these boots. There was just no way. So everyone got in this cabinet with chains on. They would open the cabinet and they would jump out and be like, like a zombie. And they were all crazy. Like, all these people were actors, but I can't act. So I was like, I can't jump out of this thing because my shirt's gonna come off, and I don't think anyone wants to see that. And this one dude, he goes, you don't know that. And I was just like, really? But anyways, they're like, okay, Casey, you don't have to do that. Let us just hear you scream like a zombie. And everyone just stared at me like, are you gonna do it? I was like, scream like a zombie? What do you mean? And they go, everyone goes, oh, like screams, and I was like, ah, like I was just screaming, like, because I didn't know what was going on. They're like, good. And so we left that room and we filled out like paperwork, blah blah blah, and they pulled us back into the room like sorry, individually, and they asked us questions and like, oh, Casey, have you ever acted before? And I was like, well, no. But, and this is where I found out that I was auditioning to be a zombie. So I lied. I was like, well, no, I've never acted before, but I've always wanted to, and this could be the beginning of my career. And they're like, oh, cool, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, can you scream like a zombie again? And I was like, ah. And they're like, good. And they're like, do you think, they're like, can you do a, accent? And I was like, I can kind of do a Russian accent, which I can't at all. I just said that, and they're like, okay, do it. And I was like, and I did the worst Russian accent ever, and I'm not even gonna do it because I feel like it would offend people. Like, it's really bad. And they're like, good. So, they're like, so do you think you would rather be a zombie or a host like us? And these were the people in the white lab coats who were walking around the room, giving us clues and whatever. Found out hosts are actually actors in the escape room. So, the position that I was trying to apply for was actually an acting job. And that's where I realized I messed up. So I was like, I was like, I can do both. And they're like, okay, Casey, well, we're going to give you a call within 3 days, telling you whether we need you now or we may need you later. I was like, okay, thank you, whatever, blah, 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 bye. 3 days go by, no call. A week goes by, no call. It's been over a week now, and I've still not received a phone call. Probably because I can't act at all. So, moral of the story is, make sure you know what position you're applying for and what you're going to be doing at the interview. So, you're prepared, because I wasn't at all. Thank you, and, make sure to give this a thumbs up for Zombies Almost Eating Me. Leave a comment below of all the bad job interviews you've had before, and make sure to subscribe so you can see all my new videos coming out, and I'll see you next time. Bye!